There is a book that universities have tried to ban, a book that has been found in the cells of prisoners and on the desks of billionaires, a book that Kanye West, 50 Cent, and some of the most powerful people in the world have called one of the most important books they have ever read. And yet, most people who pick it up put it back down after a few pages because it makes them uncomfortable. It holds up a mirror to the way power actually works in the real world. Not the way we wish it worked, not the way we were taught it worked, but the way it actually works. That book is The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. And today on Book Dose, I am not going to give you every law. There are 48 of them, and most of them honestly require a full conversation of their own. Instead, I am going to give you the 5 laws that I believe are the most misunderstood and the most quietly used by people who seem to always come out on top. Whether you use these to protect yourself, to understand the people around you, or simply to see the world a little more clearly, these 5 lessons will change the way you think about power forever. Let us get into it. Lesson 1. The less you say, the more powerful you become. This is law number 4 in the book, and it is one of the most counterintuitive ideas I have ever come across. In a world where everyone is talking, on social media, in meetings, in conversations, Robert Greene argues that the person who speaks the least is almost always perceived as the most powerful. Think about the most commanding people you have ever met in your life. The boss who walks into a room and says very little but makes everyone pay attention. The mentor whose rare words carry enormous weight, precisely because they do not speak constantly. The negotiator who stays silent just a moment longer than feels comfortable and watches the other person nervously fill the silence with concessions. Greene says, when you talk too much, you reveal too much. You show your fears, you expose your plans, you give people the information they need to work against you. But when you speak only when you have something truly important to say, every word lands with weight. Every word is remembered. The most dangerous person in any room is often the quietest one. They are watching. They are learning, and they are waiting for exactly the right moment. Practice this today. In your next important conversation, say less than you think you should. Notice what happens. Notice how people lean in. Notice how your words suddenly carry more weight than they ever did before. Lesson 2. Always make the people above you feel comfortably superior. Now, this one is going to feel uncomfortable, and I understand that. When I first read it, I thought, this sounds like manipulation. This sounds like being fake. But Greene is not asking you to be dishonest. He is asking you to be smart. And once you understand the principle behind this law, you will start seeing it everywhere. Greene tells the story of Nicolas Fouquet, the finance minister of France in the 1600s. Fouquet was brilliant, he was talented, he was genuinely one of the most capable men in the entire kingdom, and to celebrate his own success, he threw a party for the king, the most magnificent, lavish, breathtaking party France had ever seen. The food, the entertainment, the decorations, everything was beyond anything anyone had ever witnessed. And 3 weeks later, the king had him arrested. He spent the rest of his life in prison. His crime? Making the king feel small. Making the king feel like Fouquet was more powerful, more capable, more impressive than the king himself. And the king, like most people in positions of power, could not tolerate that feeling. Greene's lesson is this. No matter how talented you are, never outshine the people above you so aggressively that they feel threatened. Make them feel smart. Make them feel appreciated. Let them take credit sometimes, not because you are being weak, but because you are being wise. The truly powerful person knows that protecting their position is more important than proving their brilliance. Lesson 3. Guard your reputation with your life. Law 5 in the book, and I believe this is one of the most important pieces of advice anyone can give you in the modern world, especially in the age of social media. Robert Greene writes that your reputation is the cornerstone of your power. It is the foundation on which everything else is built, and once it is damaged, it takes years, sometimes decades to rebuild. Think about how you form opinions about people you have never met. You read about them, you hear things from others, you see how they have behaved in the past. Your entire impression of them is built entirely on their reputation, and the same is true for how others see you. Greene says powerful people do two things with their reputation. First, they build it intentionally. They choose what they want to be known for, and they make every decision with that in mind. Second, they defend it aggressively. The moment someone starts a rumor, spreads a lie, or attacks their character, they respond, not with anger, but with calm, deliberate, decisive action. In the modern world, this means being incredibly thoughtful about what you post, what you say publicly, and how you behave when you think no one is watching, because someone is always watching, and your reputation, built over years, can be damaged in a single moment. Guard it, protect it, because it is worth more than money, it is worth more than talent, and it is the one thing that once lost is almost impossible to fully recover. Lesson 4. Never let anyone see you react emotionally. This is Law 15, and it might be the single most practical law in the entire book. Greene calls this, master your emotions, or others will master them for you. And once you truly understand this, you will never look at an emotional outburst, yours or someone else's, the same way again. Here is the cold truth. When you react emotionally, when you lose your temper, when you panic, when you show frustration, when you let someone see that they have gotten under your skin, you hand them power over you. You show them exactly which buttons to push. You show them that they can control your state of mind. And once someone knows how to control your emotions, they can control your decisions. Greene tells the story of the great chess champion Bobby Fischer, a man of extraordinary talent but terrible emotional control. His opponents learned early on that if they could frustrate him, distract him, make him angry, his game would fall apart, and they used that knowledge mercilessly. He lost matches he should have won simply because someone got to him emotionally. The alternative is what Greene calls the royal demeanor. Stay calm, stay composed. Let the chaos happen around you without letting it happen inside you. When someone attacks you, respond slowly and thoughtfully. When something goes wrong, solve it quietly and efficiently. When someone tries to provoke you, smile and let it go. Because the person who controls their emotions in a room full of people who cannot is always, always the most powerful person in that room. Lesson 5. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Now, before you close this video, I want you to hear me out, because this law sounds darker than it actually is, and Greene himself is very clear about what he means here. This is not about stealing credit from hardworking people and leaving them with nothing. This is about something far more nuanced. It is about understanding how power is actually assigned in the real world. Think about every great leader you admire. Steve Jobs did not personally write every line of code. Franklin Roosevelt did not personally plan every military operation. The most powerful people in history were not the ones who did the most work. They were the ones who had the vision, assembled the right people, directed the effort, and took responsibility for the outcome. That is the law Greene is describing. He is saying, learn to leverage the talent, time, and effort of others to create things that none of you could have created alone. And when you do that well, you deserve credit, because leadership, vision, and coordination are genuinely valuable skills. The mistake most talented people make is being so busy doing the work that they never become the person directing it. They stay in the engine room while someone else steers the ship, and then they wonder why, despite being the hardest worker, they never seem to get ahead. Start thinking like a director, not just a worker. Build teams, delegate intelligently, focus on the big picture, and take full ownership of what you create together. That is not manipulation, that is leadership, and it is one of the most important shifts you can make in your professional life. So there you have it. 5 laws from the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene that I genuinely believe will change the way you see the world around you. Let me bring them all together one final time. 1. The less you say, the more powerful you become. 2. Never outshine the people above you so aggressively that they feel threatened. 3. Guard your reputation like it is your most valuable possession, because it is. 4. Never let anyone see you react emotionally. And 5. Think like a director, not just a worker. Now, I want to be clear about something. Robert Greene did not write this book to turn you into a manipulative person. He wrote it because power is real. It exists in every workplace, every family, every relationship, and the people who understand how it works are always in a better position than the people who pretend it does not exist. Knowledge protects you, and these 5 laws are some of the most protective knowledge I have ever come across. If you want to go deeper, and there is so much more in this book, I have linked the 48 Laws of Power in the description below. You can also grab it completely free with an Audible free trial. That link is there too. I promise you, it is one of those books that once you read it, you will never see the world quite the same way again. If this video gave you something to think about, please give it a like. It helps this channel reach so many more people who need these ideas. And if you want a powerful new perspective every single week, subscribe to Book Dose. I will see you in the next one.